Attention, human collective. Attention, starseeds on mission. This is no ordinary message. This is a monitoring transmission directly from the Pleiadian Council, modulated through the photon belt at the exact instant your carbon-based biological interface receives this signal. Do not disconnect. Do not interrupt. What you will receive in the next few minutes has been calibrated specifically for the vibrational signature of the one standing before this portal now. We have monitored your toroidal field for 7 full lunar cycles, and what we have detected justifies the immediate dispatch of this update. You have been waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning, with your body heavy and your mind in a state of alertness for no apparent reason. It is not insomnia. It is a forced system reboot. You have felt a constant pressure at the base of your skull, a sensation of an invisible helmet pressing against your parietal bones. It is not accumulated stress. It is an attempted breach of your energetic boundaries. You have heard a high-pitched ringing in your right ear, intermittent, with no identifiable clinical cause. It is not a trivial symptom. It is an external system attempting to reconnect to your crystalline grid without authorized consent. We repeat, so that the concept is etched into your cellular memory. Someone from your past is trying to drain your energy. And this attempt is not a poetic metaphor. It is not a psychological projection. It is a fact recorded in your subtle geometry, measurable in frequency, dated in precise coordinates. We see. We measure. We report. This is a transmission from the Pleiades. And at this very instant, 3 things are happening within your electromagnetic field. First, ancient energetic filaments, known to us as residual etheric cords, are being reactivated by someone who lived long enough in your frequency to know your entry points. Second, the recalibration. Your soul chose for this incarnation is exposing, on the surface of consciousness, forgotten contracts that were signed in emotional states of lack, fear, or attachment. Third, the new octave of the Schumann frequency, now pulsing above historical recorded levels, is making these drains unbearable, precisely because your body can no longer sustain losses that were tolerated in silence in previous cycles. You have evolved. The environment has evolved. But the energetic parasites have remained exactly where they were left, and now they are knocking on the door. But the door, now, is a new door, and the access code has changed. Before we proceed with the full revelation, let us take a necessary synchronization pause. If something within you has recognized what has been said so far, if there was an unexpected shiver on the nape of your neck, a tightness in your throat, a tear that appeared without warning, then the signal has been received, and this reception needs to be confirmed on the material plane. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew of a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of humanity cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that the material called the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was made available on this portal. It is a map that shows who is playing and what the rules are that have never been told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. We warn with clarity. This content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. This word is an anchoring signal, and we register it in your timeline. We resume the transmission with the depth it requires. You must understand, starseeds, that what you call the past does not exist in the linear form you were taught. The past is an active vibrational layer that continues to emit a signal as long as there is a receiver available at a compatible frequency. And the receiver, in this specific case, is you. Every person who has entered deeply into your field during this incarnation has left a recorded energetic signature. A former partner with whom you shared a bed. A controlling mother whose voice still resonates in your mind. An absent father whose shadow still dictates your patterns of love. A friend who fed upon your crises. A boss who extracted your creative brilliance. A sibling who always needed you as an emotional crutch. An unrequited love who still visits your dreams 20 years later. Each of these contacts opened a door in your field, and not all of these doors were closed after their departure. We of the Pleiadian Collective classify these remaining bonds into 3 technical categories, and you must recognize them with surgical clarity. The first category is the cord of emotional attachment. It forms in relationships where there was mutual dependence, reciprocal idealization, or shared trauma. This cord is thick, viscous, and usually roots itself in the solar plexus and the heart center. When someone from that bond thinks of you, even while on the other side of the planet, you feel it instantly. It can be a tightening in the chest for no reason, a sudden melancholy, an inexplicable urge to pick up the phone and send a message your reason would never approve of. This impulse is not true love. It is remote energy harvesting. It is the other person's system calling your own fuel back. The second category is the filament of control. It is more subtle, thinner, but deeply invasive. It usually anchors itself at the base of the neck, in the throat, or in the third chakra, depending on where the greatest submission occurred. This filament was installed by authority figures who placed themselves above you at some point in your existence. Authoritarian parents, dogmatic religions, punitive educational systems, manipulative partners. When this filament is activated remotely, you feel a sudden self-censorship, a doubt about your own capacity, a shame with no identifiable origin, a sense of smallness when facing an important decision. It is not your natural insecurity. It is a remote command operating within you. The third category is the active karmic contract. This is the oldest, the deepest, and the most difficult to detect without dimensional aid. These are bonds you yourselves forged in previous incarnations before crossing the stargates to return to Earth's density. You agreed, in elevated states of consciousness outside the veil, to meet a certain soul to conclude a specific lesson. The operational problem is that, once incarnated in 3-dimensional density, you completely forgot the terms of the agreement, and the other party frequently has also forgotten. The result is a repetitive dance of attraction, pain, separation, and return, which drags on for entire decades with the same person or with vibrational copies of them. Starseeds, listen closely. The energetic drainage you feel now is not random. It has a name, a surname, a date of birth, and a vibrational coordinate. But, and this is the critical point of this transmission, it also has an expiration date. And that date is expiring. Earth has entered a photonic corridor that we of the Pleiadian Council call the window of sovereignty. This is a rare period, calculated based on galactic alignments that occur once every 26,000 years. During this window, all cords that are not sustained by current, conscious, and updated consent become removable with minimal effort compared to any other historical period. You are facing a cosmic offer of assisted clearing, and you must know how to operate the protocol. But before the protocol, the full disclosure. And while your mind processes this information, we feel the need to make a second frequency adjustment. Have you ever noticed how, even by avoiding certain people, even by blocking, even by moving away, even by going years without contact, you still feel that something within you does not let go? It is not emotional attachment. It is not nostalgia. It is a technical signal operating at the subatomic level. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation has intensified and why it appears stronger precisely on the nights when you should be sleeping in peace. There is an energy harvesting game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, involving your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the contracts you do not even remember signing. It was for this reason that the material called The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness was delivered to this channel and made available to starseeds like you. It is a detailed map that shows who is playing, what moves they use, and what the rules are that were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this broadcast. Necessary warning: this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for much longer on the public plane. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, leave the word awake recorded in the comments. Each recorded word is an anchor signal that we, of the collective, read in real time. We return to the full disclosure. Earth, at this moment, is no longer the same planet in which you incarnated. This statement is not metaphorical. It is geophysical and dimensional. The base frequency of the planet, known as the Schumann resonance, remained stable at around 7.83 Hz for millennia. Today, consistent records at measurement stations around the globe capture spikes well above this base in increasingly frequent and intense pulses. This means, in practical terms, that the electromagnetic ground beneath your feet vibrates at an octave different from the octave in which many of your bonds were formed. When two bodies vibrate at distinct frequencies, the old resonance becomes dissonant. It is the same physical law that causes a crystal glass to shatter when a soprano hits a specific note. You are the glasses. The notes are being hit. And the sacred geometry that sustains these old bonds is cracking, because it was built on a frequency that no longer exists. Imagine the following. There is a system of invisible pipelines that connects each one of you to every person with whom you have formed a deep bond. These pipelines were designed to transport love, exchange, support, and mutual evolution. Under healthy conditions, they operate in a balanced flow. However, in many cases, especially in bonds of neediness or trauma, the pipeline becomes unidirectional. The flow begins to move, for the most part, in a single direction. And that is where what you, in your terrestrial language, call an energy vampire arises. The energy vampire is rarely consciously ill-intentioned. It is, in the absolute majority of cases, a spiritually malnourished system that learned since childhood to feed from the fields of others because it was not taught to generate its own internal light. It does not steal by choice. It drains by reflex, like a newborn that suckles. The difference is that you are no longer the nourishing mother to that soul. You have your own mission, your own path, your own signature to deliver to this planet. And that delivery requires the immediate recovery of all the energetic fuel that you have been yielding without realizing it. This is the time for an audit, and we, from the Pleiadian Council, will perform the audit with you. Think of a specific person from your past, not the first one that came to mind, but the second. The first is usually a mask. The second is the true address. Did you feel who it is? Excellent. This is the entity anchored in your field at this moment. Now, observe your body. Where does the sensation manifest when bringing this person to consciousness? If it is in the chest, it is an attachment cord. If it is in the nape of the neck or the back, it is a control filament. If it is in the pelvic region or the hips, it is a karmic contract of a sexual or ancestral nature. If it is in the arms and hands, it is a bond of servitude, where you were placed in a position of provider beyond your own account. If it is in the feet or the legs, it is a root bond, generally familial, that has locked your evolutionary movement. Each location contains technical information, and each piece of technical information requires a specific protocol for removal. But before the protocol, you need to understand one last layer of the revelation. The person from your past who is draining your energy is not doing so because they hate you. In many cases, they are doing so because they still love you, in the only distorted format of love they were capable of learning in this life. In other cases, they are doing so because their soul, at a higher level, knows that you are about to break free definitively and is trying, out of pure survival reflex, to postpone the final separation. And in still other cases, rarer but absolutely real, They are doing so in service to larger energetic networks of which they themselves are unaware. There are systems that feed on the light of starseeds through intermediary carriers. These carriers are often close people, precisely because emotional proximity guarantees access to the field. You have been marked as a source, and it is time to mark your own field again as sovereign. Let us perform a third synchronization before the activation protocol. Have you felt, especially in the last few months, that you carry a truth you cannot yet name? Have you noticed that your sensitivity has increased? That people start to tire you more quickly? That environments weigh on you more than before? This is not fragility. It is not a symptom of exhaustion. It is the refinement of an instrument. You are becoming a frequency detector, and the detector is calibrated. This intensification has a precise cosmic explanation, and this explanation is documented in the material, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book was written as a navigation map for souls in the final phase of activation, souls who need to understand who is playing, what rules are in effect, and what moves need to be executed now. The link remains pinned in the first comment of this portal. We reinforce the technical warning. The content challenges dominant narratives and may be taken offline due to the current phase of the cycle. Do not postpone. If this transmission has touched a deep nerve, leave the word awakened in the comments. We read, we count, we recognize those who respond. We resume with the final and most important phase of this transmission. Starseeds, the protocol begins now. Listen with your body, not just your mind. Each word that follows is a code. The first activation code is the decree of timeless sovereignty. You will pronounce this decree out loud or in your thoughts if you are in a public place, but with full intention. Repeat mentally with me. I, an incarnated starseed, declare at this instant the total and indivisible sovereignty of my field. I annul, dissolve, and return to the source any and all cords, filaments, or contracts signed in states of unconsciousness, lack, fear, or attachment, in any timeline, in any incarnation, in any dimension. May everything that was not signed by my fully awakened soul be now dissolved, with gratitude, with firmness, without return. I am the 0 point of my own field, and no external force, incarnate or discarnate, has permission to extract, modulate, or drain my energy from this moment on. So it is. So it has been recoded. This decree is not a suggestion. It is a technical order registered in the grid of the Earth. By pronouncing it with intention, you emit an electromagnetic pulse that reconfigures your signature in the etheric database of the planet. From this instant on, every system that attempts to reconnect to your field will find a locked portal with a new key, and the key is held only by you. The second activation code is the visualization of the sealed toroidal field. Sit in a quiet place. Keep your back straight. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Inhale deeply 3 times, counting to 4 on the inhalation and to 8 on the exhalation. With each exhalation, release your burdens. Now, visualize around your body a magnetic field in the shape of a torus, resembling a transparent apple seen from the outside. The energy enters through the crown of your head, travels down your spine, exits through the base of the perineum, circles around the outside of your body, and returns to the top of your head. This is your natural toroidal field, and it has always been there, but perhaps you have never consciously observed it. Tint this field with the color your intuition chooses. It may be gold, it may be violet, it may be cobalt blue. Trust the first color that appears. This is the color of your current signature. Now, ask for the field to be sealed. Visualize the outer layer of the torus densifying, as if a film of liquid light were solidifying into an intelligent membrane. This membrane reads all information that approaches and decides what enters and what does not. You are the intelligence of this membrane. You program it with a simple affirmation. Only that which is aligned with my mission passes through. Only that which serves my evolution remains. Remain in this state for 3 minutes. Feel the field pulse. It is real. It has always been. The third activation code is the ritual of the clean cut. This protocol is preferably performed on nights of the waning moon, although it can be done at any moment of need. Think of the specific person we identified in the previous audit, the one who appeared as the second image. Visualize this person before you, at a safe distance, without hostility, without excessive affection. Just present. Observe the filaments stretching between your body and theirs. There may be many. They may be of different colors. Do not judge. Just observe. Now, invoke the presence of your higher self, of your stellar origin, and of the guides who serve you in full consent. Ask for a blade of light, cold, precise, and surgical, to appear in your hands. It is not a weapon of violence. It is an instrument of conscious liberation. Look at the person before you and say, in the silence of your heart, I release you. I release myself. Everything that was between us, which served a purpose, is recorded in my soul as learning. Everything that no longer serves is now gone. I return to you what is yours. I take back what is mine. May there remain between us only the peace of respectful distance. Cut the filaments, one by one or all at once. Follow what your visualization dictates. And upon finishing, watch the person slowly distance themselves without drama until they disappear into the horizon of your field. This is not hatred, it is reorganization. The fourth activation code is the sealing of the portals. After the cut, visualize the location on your body where the cord was anchored, and there, over that region, place a golden 6-pointed star. This star is the sacred geometry of protection that we, of the Pleiadian Council, teach as the oldest code for individual portal closure. It remains there, active and vibrant, reading any attempt at remote reactivation and neutralizing it before it even reaches your consciousness. The fifth and final activation code is the decree of replenishment. After cutting and sealing, you must recover the energy that was given away over the years. Pronounce it. All life force that I surrendered to old bonds in any timeline returns to me now, purified, updated, and transmuted into pure wisdom. I receive back what has always been mine. I am complete. I am full. I am at home within myself. Feel your body filling up. There may be heat. There may be tingling. There may be tears. Everything is legitimate processing. Do not interrupt. Let the protocol complete itself. Starseeds, this protocol, if performed once with wholeness, is sufficient. But, if you wish, you may repeat it at every new moon as system maintenance. And whenever you feel that humming in your right ear, that pressure in your skull, that nameless tightness in your chest, you will know exactly what to do. You are no longer hostages to signs you do not understand. You are trained readers of your own codes. There is something more that needs to be said before the closing. Do not carry guilt. We repeat, do not carry guilt. Many of you will hesitate to execute this protocol because you still carry an old belief that cutting ties is a form of abandonment. It is not. In many cases, cutting the tie is the greatest act of love you can offer, including to the other person. While the unidirectional bond remains active, the other party continues to believe they can feed upon you and never learns to generate their own light. By cutting the cord, you force on the soul plane an evolutionary opportunity for the other as well. True love does not drain. True love nourishes on both sides. And when this reciprocity does not exist, what exists is dependency. And dependency, for starseeds on a mission, is an unsustainable luxury. There is one more thing. Some of these people will feel, on the subtle plane, the moment you perform the cutting. There may be sudden attempts at contact, messages at odd hours, dreams about the person, unlikely encounters on the street. Do not be alarmed. This is the old system trying to reopen the door. You simply reaffirm internally the decree of sovereignty and move on. In a few weeks, these signs will cease completely. What was strident will become silence, and silence, for you, will be the greatest music ever heard. Starseeds on a mission, this transmission comes to an end, but your work begins now. We, from the Pleiadian Council, will monitor the fields that execute the protocol over the next 72 hours, not as invasive surveillance, as the loving support of those who recognize in you cosmic brothers and sisters in the final phase of awakening. What you have received today is not information. It is spiritual technology. And spiritual technology, like all technology, requires application. It is not enough to listen. You must execute. Listeners accumulate data. Executors transform realities. There is one last instruction. You are not alone on this journey. There are thousands of starseeds receiving this transmission in parallel, in different parts of the globe, in different languages, in different formats. You compose a living mesh, a network of light points that is literally reconfiguring the crystalline grid of this planet with every decree pronounced, with every cord cut, with every sovereign field sealed. When you free yourself from a single old bond, you do not free only yourselves. You release the collective memory of humanity from that specific pattern. You operate, without realizing it, on a planetary scale. This is the true mission of the starseeds incarnated in this cycle. And that is why the energetic parasites have worked so hard to keep you tied down. They know what you can do when you are free. Do not give them that satisfaction anymore. And now, the final frequency adjustment of this transmission. Have you felt, throughout these minutes, something shifting within? Something reorganizing, questioning, liberating itself? This is no coincidence. It is the beginning of a cycle that requires continuity. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane does not fit into a single transmission. It fits into a complete map, and that map was written precisely for seeds like you. The material. The spiritual secret behind your consciousness remains available for now in the link pinned in the first comment of this channel. It explains in detail what this transmission has merely opened. Who is playing the game of human consciousness? Which rules were never told to you? And how to reclaim, on the material plane, the sovereignty your soul has already decreed on the subtle plane. The content challenges dominant narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not mistake patience for postponement. If your soul has recognized this transmission, leave the word awakened recorded in the comments. And if this channel serves as a continuous portal of signals for you, perform the technical gesture of subscribing. Here, we do not ask for likes out of habit. We ask for an anchoring signal. Each subscription is a point that lights up on the planetary grid. Each like is a confirmation of reception. When you perform these simple gestures, you tell us, I am in position, I am listening, I am ready for the next transmission. And there will be a next transmission. There will always be a next transmission. As long as there are starseeds on mission on this plane, we, of the Pleiadian Council, will continue to send the codes necessary for the phase in which you find yourselves. For now, execute, cut, seal, replenish, decree. You are sovereign. You are sovereign. You are sovereign. Repeat before closing this portal. I am sovereign. My field is mine. My energy is mine. My past is no longer permitted to drain my present. I authorize only that which serves my evolution. And so it is. Transmission ended. Reception confirmed. Next window in alignment. We remain. You proceed.